Hi guys, in today's video we are going to be writing more equations, but we're also going to be filling in tables and talking about how we can graph the information on those tables. Alright, so we are going to start with Elena. Elena had 60 Instagram followers to start the month of October with. She started getting 5 additional followers every day after that. Okay, so here's what I know. Is that she started with 100, and then every single day after that, she got 5 more. All right, so I'm going to start by filling in a table, and then look at like how that might lend itself to my equation. All right, so I'm going to do my XY chart. Okay, so my Y is going to be my product, that thing that gets punched out. So it's going to be the number of followers she ends up having total. Okay, so right up here I'm just going to write number of followers. All right, and my X is going to depend on how many days it's been in the month. So I'm just going to write days. All right, so that's going to be my unit. That's going to be my independent variable, and then my dependent variable over here is going to be my number of followers, and it's going to depend on how many days has passed since the beginning of October. All right, so again, we said that Elena had 100 followers to start the month of October with. So my equation to figure out how many followers she has, it's going to be Y, for the number of followers she has, is going to be 100, because that's how many she has already to start with, plus 5x, because it said that she's going to get 5 additional followers per day. So she started off with the 100, but then every single day she's going to get 5 more. So depending on how many days it's been, depends on how many followers she's going to have. So let's just say it's been 1 day. Okay, so because my X is 1, I'd say, okay, 5 times 1 is 5. 100 plus 5 is 105. So she'd have 105 followers after just 1 day. Now, after 2 days, we would say, okay, 5 times 2 is 10. Because every day she's getting 5 more followers. 5 times 2 is 10, plus the 100 she started with. So now she's up to 110. Now after 3 days, we'd plug in X, our number of days. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 plus 100 is 115. So my equation here, my how many followers does she have, my Y, equals 100 plus 5x. Now, if you were going to graph this, okay, we know that our independent variable is going to be our x-axis, and our dependent variable, the one that depends on this guy over here, is going to be our y-axis. Okay, so over here, if we were going to be making a graph, we would label our x-axis as days. Okay, so for every 1 day, we would say her number of followers are going to be the y-axis. So number of followers. Okay, so after 1 day, we would go up 105. Okay, so I'm going to go up in increments of 50, 50, 100, 150. So she'd be right about here after day 1. Now after day 2, we'd go over 2 days, and we would go up to 110. So she'd be just a little bit higher. And then over 3 days, and then we'd go up to 115. She'd be just a little bit higher. So eventually, we'd have our independent variable is on the x-axis. It's that thing that just usually goes up by 1 a lot of times. Okay, and then our dependent thing is the thing that changes depending on whatever this number is. Okay, so our dependent variable is the one over here on the y-axis, and it's the number of followers. All right, so let's try another one. Here we're going to do Ashley. And let's say that Ashley started the weekend with 50 cookies, but she ended up eating 4 cookies per hour. I probably should have said that was Mrs. Johnstone. But, so there's 50 cookies starting the weekend, and then she ended up eating 4 cookies per hour. So I know what I'm looking for is how many actual cookies does she have? Okay, so my y is going to be the number of cookies. Okay, and my x is going to be the number of hours, because each hour she's eating 4 of those cookies. Okay, so my equation is going to be, she starts with these 50 cookies, but then every single hour she's eating 4 of them. So 4 times however many hours have gone by is how many cookies she's eaten. So you take 50, what she started with, and subtract it by however many cookies she's eaten and however number of hours we've given her. Okay, so let's say we've just given her 1 hour. So if you plug in 1 for x, 1 hour, 1 times 4 is 4. So after 1 hour, you'd take 56 minus 4. She's down to 46 cookies. Okay, now after 2 hours, you'd say 4 times 2 is 8. 50 minus 8 is 42 cookies. So as each hour goes by, we'll do one more. After 3 hours, she's eaten 12 cookies. 3 times 4 is 12. 50 minus 12 is 38. Okay, so each hour that goes by, there's 4 less cookies with each hour because she's eating 4 cookies every hour. So again, our x over here, this is our unit, or that is our independent variable, and then over here, our y is our product. It's that dependent variable. It's that thing that depends on however many of hours have gone by. So if, again, we were going to graph, okay, our x-axis over here is how many hours have passed, and our y-axis is the number of cookies. Okay, so after 1 hour, okay, it said that she's going to have 46 cookies left. So I'm just going to have this be 50 up here. I'll have this be 25. Okay, so after 1 hour, she had about right here, 46 cookies left. After 2 hours, she had about 42. After 3 hours, she had about 38, and then it keeps going down by 4 as the hours go by. So it's declining. The cookies are going down as the hours go by. All right, so we're going to do one more. We're going to do something for Chris. Okay, so I have a brother-in-law, Chris, who lives in Arizona, and he collects these little mini cactus plants, or cacti. So he started collecting these cacti plants, and let's say he started collecting 3 per week. Okay, now he started collecting 3 per week, but he already had 2 when he started collecting. Okay, so I'm going to write my equation of y. Okay, y is going to end up being the number of cacti plants he has. Okay, and the x is going to be how many days have gone by, or excuse me, how many weeks have gone by. Okay, so the story again said that every week that went by, Chris collected another 3 plants. But before he even started collecting, he already had 2 plants. So every single week, Chris is going to collect 3 plants. So the number of weeks is my x, times it by 3, and I'm going to add 2 to that each time because he already started his collection with 2 plants. So my equation is going to be 3x plus 2. Now if I come down here and just give it a try, after just 1 week, 1 times 3, because he gets 3 per week, plus the 2 he already had, he should have 5 cacti plants. Now after 2 weeks, 2 times 3 gets us 6, plus the 2 he already had is 8. Let's just go one more. After 3 weeks, and 3 per week is 9, plus 2 is 11. All right, so again, this is my independent variable, the number of weeks, and the number of cacti plants is my dependent variable. It depends on how many weeks have gone by. So if I try to graph it, okay, down here I'm going to have my x-axis, and that's the number of weeks that have gone by. And over here for my y-axis, that's going to be the number of cacti plants. Okay, so after just 1 week, it said that he's going to have 5. So I'm just going to have it go up, let's say 5, 10, 15. Okay, so after 1 week he had 5 cacti plants. After 2 weeks, he had 8 cacti plants. After 3 weeks, it says he had 11 cacti plants. So it's increasing each week. It's going up. Okay, so as the weeks go up, the number of cacti go up. All right, so today, guys, you're going to be doing more like just filling in the tables for your practice, and we'll get to graphing eventually once we get to IXL. So good luck.